Greetings from Christian News and Interviews. So, I'm going to share an article with you and talk a little bit about Black Lives Matter, okay? So check this out. Black American murders spike after viral police incidents. Protesters asked to defund the police. So we have a spike in the Black community and murders, which is not surprising to anyone. All you have to do is turn on the news and you will hear about old women being knocked down, old women being killed, purses snatched, toddlers being shot, 8-year-olds can't walk to the corner store without being approached and attacked. So the murder rate, the abuse rate in the Black community has probably quadrupled. But I'm just going to read part of this article. The backing of Black Lives Matter and calls to undermine the police resonated across America in 2020, following the passing of George Floyd, touching off civil rights fights and uproars when the COVID and lockdowns overturned society in phenomenal ways. What was left afterwards was a huge expansion in the number of murders, managing an unbalanced disaster for Black Americans. Now, notice which communities were impacted by this call by Black Lives Matter to defund the police. The Black community. Now, let me tell you where these Black Lives Matter people live. They live in white areas, predominantly white areas. They live off of donations from gullible people. They live in $6 and $7 million homes. And while they sit perched in their ivory towers, while they only come down to go into the streets and cause mayhem, they then retreat to their ivory towers where they continue to live in luxury and protection. But they leave the average Black person unprotected, as they claim that the police need to be defunded. The worst thing that could possibly happen in the Black community is to defund the police. Listen to this. Black Americans were lopsidedly impacted by the soaring killings of 2020. The backing of Black Lives Matter and calls to undermine the police resonated across America in 2020 following the passing of George. Okay. So let me move down. Okay, here we go. In 2019, something like 7,484 Black Americans were killed. That number shot up to something like 9,941 homicides in 2020. Importance, there was an increment of 2,457 Black Americans killed over the earlier year. The quantity of Black homicides was likewise far higher than white killings in 2020. The FBI information shows that there 7,043 white individuals killed that year, meaning 2,898 additional Black individuals were killed, contrasted with whites. Okay, so I could go on and on and on with these numbers. What I'm going to do is post this article below. You can read the numbers for yourself, but the long and the short of it is some areas actually did decrease the number of police officers on the streets. And guess what happened? The crime rates went up. And guess who was impacted? Black people. Now, let me show you where these Black Lives Matter people live, the big wigs. Okay, first of all, who's in charge of Black Lives Matter's $60 million bankroll? Black Lives Matter will not confirm who controls its significant funds after founder stepped down and the two activists she appointed to take her place rejected roles. Okay, it's not 60 million. This is actually low. This is a low ball. They've actually collected about 90 million. Okay, so I don't know where this article gets 60 million from, but that's inaccurate. They've collected over 90 million. So let me show you where they live. Okay, here we go. Black Lives Matter defends purchase of $6 million California home. And this woman, one of the leaders, she has multiple homes, but this is just one of them. And this is probably the one that's going to end up probably getting her locked up. Okay, Black Lives Matter defended the group's secretive purchase of a swanky $5.8 million Southern California home with donated funds. That means it's coming from the general public, vowing to increase transparency while still providing little detail about the eyebrow-raising acquisition. Okay, so I'm going to show you all a picture of the home. Here it is. Okay, here are the leaders. And here's at $90 million. Here it goes. Okay, so the embattled organization used part of its 90 million, not 60, $90 million donation windfall to purchase the lavish digs, according to a report. So these people have gotten filthy rich as they live in these white areas, okay? White areas that are not defunded, but yet they're telling everybody else that we need to be defunded. Black Lives Matter, that's a very dangerous group. Don't send them a penny. As you can see, here they are sitting in luxury. And again, here's the home. Look at that big giant size, 6,500 square foot home that has parking, so much parking that it can fit up to 20 cars, okay? That was bought with donation money. Not a dime of this money went into the Black community to help one Black person. As a matter of fact, they're hurting Black people by telling Black people that we need to defund the police, knowing that the defunding of the police hurts Black people as they sit perched in their wealthy white neighborhoods protected by the police. I'm going to end this by showing you a woman named Cori Bush, Representative Cori Bush. She's big on suggesting that the police be defunded, but guess what? She has a private police security detail, and she's paying huge money per year for this detail, and guess who's paying for it? You guessed it, her constituents. And listen to what she has to say about it.
Your push to defund the police, campaign records show that you spent roughly $70,000 on private security, and some critics say that move is hypocritical. What's your response to those critics?
They would rather I die? You would rather me die? Is that what you want to see? You want to see me die? You know, because that could be the alternative. So either I spent $70,000 on private security over the last few months, and I'm here standing now and able to speak, able to help save 11 million people from being evicted, or I could possibly have a death attempt on my life.
Okay, let me pause that for a second. Does she sound like a nutcase to you? Because she sounds like a nutcase to me. This woman is huge on trying to support and advocate for defunding the police. The numbers are in already. The more the police are defunded, the more Black people are being shot, stabbed. Children can't sit on their front porch. 80-year-old women can't walk to their car or to the store without having their purses snatched or beat down. This nutcase, Cori Bush, is supporting this defunding of the police. But guess what? She's spending over $70,000 of donation money, and she's talking about how she wants to save her life. What about the life of your constituents?
And we're also talking about the same exact people who say horrible things about me, who lie to build up their base.
I'm saying horrible things about you too. I think you're a nutcase. I think you're selfish. I think you're a hypocrite. Now, how's that?
And then because they lie about me, I receive death threats. Now, they don't address the fact that I receive death threats after they go on air and say horrible things about me. But then they want to say, oh, but she needs private security. I have private security because my body is worth being on this planet right now.
And I want the police to be active because I want my body to be on this earth and the bodies of everybody else who's suffering under this defund the police nonsense. Hello?
Have private security because the white supremacist, racist narrative that they drive into this country.
There we go. Blame Whitey. No, you have to take responsibility yourself, lady. You have to take responsibility for trying to get everybody else defunded while you spend their money on private security detail because of your paranoia.
The fact that they don't care that this black woman that has put her life on the line, they can't match my energy, first of all. This black woman who puts her life on the line.
You know what? Don't bother. I've never even heard of you. I don't know you. You haven't put anything on the line. You put other people's lives on the line, though.
They don't care that I could be taken out of here. They actually probably are okay with that. But
you know what? I don't want you to die, but I do want you to be taken out of, I do want you to be taken out in terms of out of the house. You need to go on about your business. Find a different career.
But this is the thing. I won't let them get that off. You can't get that off. I'm going to make sure I have security because I know I have had attempts on my life and I have too much work to do. There are too many people.
Have you all heard of somebody named Cori Bush having an attempt on her life? Do you believe it?
That need help right now for me to allow that. So if I end up spending $200,000, if I spend $10 more on it, you know what? I get to be here to do the work. So suck it up, and defunding the police has to happen. We need to defund the police and put that money into social safety nets because we're trying to save lives.
Here we go. So listen to this. Listen to this. She's taking her constituents' money, over $70,000, to protect herself. At the same time, she's screaming out of her mouth. She talks out two sides of her face, but she's yelling and screaming about how the police need to be defunded. So in other words, let's take your protection away from you, but I'm not going to take my protection away from me. My life deserves to be saved, but yours doesn't. Vote this nutcase out of office. She sounds like a complete weirdo.
What other occupation can do work that's out of their scope and still be propped up to do work that's out of their scope? As a nurse, I can't be the surgeon too. You don't want me being your surgeon and I'm the nurse. At what point do we pay police to be social workers? No, we don't. How do they get to be social workers? So what I'm saying is you do your job. Let the people who have gone to school with a particular skill set do theirs. Neither defunding the police and being able to have security because those same folks are causing it. It's two totally different things. And
no, it's not. It's the same thing.
And this is my last point on this. If I have actual police officers who have threatened my life, about that. Tell me that I don't need security. And let me just say this last thing.
Did you hear this woman just just claim that police threatened her life? Do you believe that the police threatened this woman's life?
My security is not against communal violence. My security is not to keep me safe from the people of St. Louis. My security is to keep me safe from those racist.
Look at this bobble-headed man on the far left. Look at him bobbing his head like one of those bobblehead dolls. Not standing up and challenging this woman because she's talking total crap.
Attempts made against my life. Now, if you want to do something about that, stand up and do something about that. I didn't see any of those people that have come against me with this negativity, with these lies, with these smears, stand up when they saw the N-word, when they saw me post stuff about me being hung, the threats on my life, hanging me and burning me, frying me and my family like bacon. They didn't say anything about that. And that was just a piece of what I receive all the time. But you know what? I take that and I walk with my head up and my shoulders back because I know I'm doing the work for the people.
You know what she sounds like? She sounds like one of those bootleg preachers. She sounds like a bootleg preacher who's trying to get people's money. That's what she sounds like.
On the right side of history, and if they want, they can come and meet me to my face. You come and meet me you come and stand on these steps and fight for the people this way. You show up and fight for the people the way that I have. You put your body.
And then she keeps talking about how she's fighting for the people. I've never heard of this lady.
On the line, the way that I put my body on the line. And until you can do that, I suggest you take several seats.
Girl, please. Stay tuned, everyone.